We have the Aether Vial turn 1. I might keep this on the play, but I think on the draw it's far too slow. Our only plays are 3 drops. So we wouldn't be doing anything, basically, for the first 2 turns. This hand isn't really much better, but we do have turn 1, turn 2, and a Canopy. I think this is a bad hand keep. And hope that we don't draw any more lands. Our opponent has mulliganed as well. They're mulliganing to 5, so we'll keep this 6, and we'll put back one of our fetch lands. How low can you go? So if opponent is mulliganing so aggressively, that could put them on Tron. That is one of the decks that will mulligan quite a bit. Dredge, I think, mulligans quite a bit as well. Not sure about Oops All Spells. It's a rather new deck, and I don't have any experience playing it, and very little experience playing against it, so I'm not too sure how they mulligan. Well, they're spending quite a bit of time on this one, either to decide if they want to throw it, but more likely decide which cards to throw back. And we're playing against, what's the name? Neoform, I guess? So if we get a turn, Mausoleum Wanderer should be good. But we could just be dead here before we've even played a single card. Okay, so the opponent found all the cards they needed. We're just going to hit 6 and find out if we're dead. This is Modern. Turn 1 kill. True turn 1. I suppose they could just, like, leave Griselbrand on the board at this point, just as, like, an 8/8 flyer, right? Because they didn't Summoner's Pact. Yeah, so they don't even need to fizzle. They don't need to fear the fizzle. They can just have a giant 8/8 flying lifelink. So we're not dead on turn 1, but we're dead on turn 1. Wonder what we have in the sideboard for this. Force of Negation is a big one. We could Force of Negation the Neoform, for example. Dampening Sphere would be another one. We could bring in Path to Exile. It is a one mana interaction with Griselbrand, but the opponent can still combo through a Path to Exile. So we do have quite a few cards in the sideboard for this matchup. And if we had been on the play in this game, we would have been fine with the Mausoleum Wanderer. But that's Magic. So I'm wondering at this point, do we even reveal what deck we are? We could play no cards. And like we're not going to win this game. Thinking about Unified Will, maybe, it's definitely an option. It's on the radar for sure. So I think the best thing to actually do here would be to concede without playing a single card. So the opponent doesn't know how to sideboard, and we do. We're not winning against Griselbrand on that board. There's a lot of cards that we just strictly do not need. Mausoleum Wanderer is quite good. I mean, Rattlechains I think is fine. We don't need Selfless Spirit. We don't need Skyclave Apparition. That's not going to have any targets. I think there might be like a Dork or something that they play. But in any event, we need to take 2 more cards out. The only non-blue cards that we're playing, really, Aether Vial, Noble Hierarch, Path to Exile, they all seem quite strong. I definitely would like to get to 3 mana on the second turn so I could Spell Quell their Search. So maybe I take out some of the Lords. Maybe I take out a Rattlechains and a Mimic. Okay, so this hand is no good. We'll mull. This hand is not great. It doesn't really interact with the opponent meaningfully. We're going to mull again. This hand is better, but it only has 1 land. And if the land had been able to cast Noble Hierarch, I would have kept this. But I have to mull again. Opponent might be keeping 6 here. Okay, here we go. This is much better. Now we just got to figure out, we got to put 3 cards back. So we're keeping Hierarch, Unified Will, Damping Sphere. We want to keep lands. We got to put 3 cards back. No point in keeping Unified Will if we throw away Noble Hierarch. We could throw away one of the lands because we would still have 2 mana through Hierarch and land. So with this hand, we need to survive turn 1. And we'll go get a Breeding Pool. Unfortunately, we did not see Force of Negation. That would have been pretty strong. Manamorphose from the opponent. They could be going for it here. That's the mana for a Neoform. They might just be looking for Neoform off the top. They probably already have the Allosaurus Rider and are ready to go. So if they play Allosaurus Rider, we have to play Dampening Sphere. If they don't play Allosaurus Rider, we can hold up Unified Will. Alright, so, we get a Snow-Covered Plains. So that means we could even attack with a Noble Hierarch. I'm thinking that we should probably just play Damping Sphere and attack. Although this line is weak to Allosaurus Rider. Nice. Oh, very nice. Okay, let's just keep attacking for 1. I don't think we've even necessarily revealed what deck we're playing at this point either. Breeding Pool, Plains, Noble Hierarch, Damping Sphere. We could be anything. Okay, the Moorland Haunt will make it obvious, but I think it's still worthwhile to put the land out. We do have the mana to activate it, but we don't meet the secondary condition. We cannot exile a creature card. So there will be no spirits in our future. Not in the near future, anyway. Ooh, Path to Exile off the top. Fantastic. So we've got a bunch of answers at this point. We just don't have a clock. I think Rattlechains would be a really nice draw. Aether Vial, huh? I think it's worthwhile to play the Aether Vial. It does take us off one of our answers if we decide to attack, which we're going to. But I think that it's worthwhile to put into play for future economy. Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to cast 2 spells anyways through the Damping Sphere. And opponent is just doing nothing with all those cards in hand. Oops. There. Another Aether Vial. I mean, I guess. Deck is kind of being silly here, but we've got some good cards. So we might be able to make it through here. Nourishing Shoal for 15. Okay, I mean, they have less time on the clock than we do. I don't think we need to counter that. There we go. Finally, Rattlechains off the top. We can get that into play with the Aether Vial, end of the opponent's turn, and still hold up some counter magic. Start attacking for 3. That'll be a much better clock than 1. We've just been giving opponent infinite time to find the pieces of their combo, or an answer to our Damping Sphere. Alright, thanks for the luck, thanks for the view, and take it easy. Catch you next time. So we'll say yes to both of these, and this will be the last time that either of them are activated. A Mimic, huh? Well, I suppose we could copy the Rattlechains with that. Start attacking for 4 instead of 3, but we might even hold it just as an extra card to pitch to Force of Negation for a little while. And then we might find a better card to copy rather than the Rattlechains. So I think we'll just pass here. Okay, here's Summoner's Pact. That's fine. They go get Allosaurus Rider. We can cast both Unified Will and Force of Negation in one turn. But we can't cast all 3 with the Path to Exile. So we're just going to counter that. We could let them try to continue the combo from here. But my thought process was maybe they won't bother. Oh, a Veil of Summer. They're going to be tapped out, though, at this point, right? So they're not going to be able to do the combo, and we can just path the Allosaurus Rider. I'm wondering, like, do we path it on their upkeep, for example? We have the mana to do it now, but that would give them more mana. But they're tapped out, right? So it's their turn as well. Maybe I just go ahead and path it now so there's no risk. Okay, always yield. That'll make that much faster, and we get a land off the top. Deck is no help. Opponent has to play 4 Summoner's Pact here. So that's basically all their mana tied up. And we actually don't have anything to do here, so we'll pass. Huh, I thought I said always no to this. Well, maybe it'll stick this time. Ooh, Spell Queller, that's great. Good draw there. Really good draw. We don't have an answer to another Allosaurus Rider, but we have an answer to whatever else they're doing. So, Summoner's Pact, their search spells, we can counter those. Ooh, Drogskol Captain, that's excellent as well. We might as well go ahead and put this into play, get the extra damage on the Rattlechains. And we'll use mana to do it, so that we'll have the Aether Vial up for Spell Queller, and the Force of Negation is basically free. And then we'll even have the Glasspool Mimic for either Spell Queller or Drogskol Captain to really close the door. Okay. I don't think we need to change much here. There is the possibility of removing the Unified Will when we're on the draw, but honestly, I don't think that any of the cards that we've taken out are better than Unified Will. So yeah, we're just going to resubmit here. No changes. I imagine the opponent has plenty of changes now that they actually know what we're playing. Okay, they didn't take very long. We are still up by almost a minute on clock, but that is actually a fairly small amount of time where we're still both above 15 minutes. Alright, so we have one land, Aether Vial, Damping Sphere, we have Force of Negation, which is a pretty important one. I'm actually into keeping this one, because we have land Aether Vial, and we can hold up Force of Negation until our Aether Vial ticks up to the point where we can cast our spells, and the Dampening Sphere is going to be good enough. We're going to keep this one land hand. Force of Negation is good enough in itself. So the fact we can play spells as well as not die before we play a single spell, yeah, we're good. We're good with this hand. Opponent mulliganing to 4 and conceding. Not overly impressed with this hand. We can put a bunch of stuff out turn 1 and 2, but where are we going with this? I mean, really. Yeah, this is just the wrong cards altogether. We'll mull this. This hand is much better. We'll get rid of one of the Noble Hierarchs and call it a decent hand. That's right. I moved the Noble Hierarch over to the left side so I could click faster. Okay, Inkmoth Nexus, Mishra's Bauble, Luris, Ornithopter. This is HammerTime. How is our hand versus HammerTime? We probably want to get the Noble Hierarch out so we can get Skyclave Apparition down turn 2. So we might have to pass up on the value of the Aether Vial so that we can get guaranteed Skyclave turn 2. This is not something that you would normally want to do. Normally you want to put Aether Vial out turn 1 so you can get the most value out of it. But I believe, because we're playing against HammerTime, that we're going to want the option to Skyclave a hammer. If they don't play hammer here, we'll Skyclave the Cigar Zade. Oh yeah? Really? Showing me who's boss? I guess the hammer's coming down right now. Here it comes. 10 damage. So that's why I played Aether Vial. We would just, or sorry, Noble Hierarch instead of Aether Vial. We would be straight up dead if we hadn't done that. So we need white mana. We'll get Flooded Strand here. I think we can go get Temple Garden. I think they generally smash in 10s. So now that we're below 10, it doesn't really matter, I think, how low our life total goes. So let's see here. We have Botanical Sanctum. So we already have access to blue. We don't need any more access to green. So let's go get Hallowed Fountain. And I think we hit the hammer itself rather than the Ornithopter. We wouldn't want them moving the hammer over to the Inkmoth Nexus with a, oh, what is that card called? They used to play it in Cheerios. 2 white mana, 2/2, and if they have Metalcraft, they can move equipment around at for free. If anyone knows the name of the card, go ahead and throw it up in chat. Please and thank you. We should actually just be hitting 6 here. Oh, geez, they have another Colossal Hammer. Okay, we're dead. Opponent had a really good hand there. Okay, we're definitely bringing in Path to Exile. We could bring in Force of Negation as well to counter their hammers. They're basically going to be playing hammer on their turn. Unified Will, I think, is a liability. Rest in Peace doesn't seem that great. I mean, they have Luris, but, like, whatever. We could bring in Remorseful Cleric for that kind of effect. Teferi actually seems quite strong here. Spell Queller is strong. Drogskol Captain is Drogskol Captain. Skyclave Apparition is strong. Selfless Spirit doesn't seem too good here. I think we can get rid of all 3 of those. We're definitely going to want to keep the Noble Hierarch for sure, for sure. But the Mausoleum Wanderer doesn't seem very strong. I think we can get rid of maybe one of those, a Glasspool Mimic, and maybe a Supreme Phantom, maybe a Rattlechains. We need one more card to go. I mean, I guess we could put the Remorseful Cleric back into the sideboard. I think that it's the worst sideboard card that we're bringing in. And I don't know that it's necessarily better than anything that we have in the deck. But I wouldn't mind having it just as a way to answer Luris. Alright, we're going to keep the Remorseful Cleric, and we'll get rid of another Mausoleum Wanderer. We did bring in 3 1-drops. Okay, opponent is also taking their time in sideboarding. I respect that. So let's see here. We showed them lands, Noble Hierarch, and Skyclave Apparition. So they probably know that we're on spirits, but they wouldn't be sure. Howdy! Ibura Kema, what's going on? You've joined us for match 2. We're just heading into game 2. Womp womp. I understand that. I do the work thing sometimes. I mean, like, I was at work just a couple hours ago. Okay, so looks like opponent might have stepped away. I wonder if their sideboard is going through here. Timer hit 0. So they might not have sideboarded. That's one of the things that we're looking to find out with this league and future leagues. The idea behind it is that the 3-drops in spirits are incredibly strong. Super, super strong 3-drops. So I want to be able to play my 3-drops on turn 2. That's the idea behind the Noble Hierarchs. Yeah, I guess we keep this. We can get a Teferi down right away on turn 2. Maybe bounce Sigarda's 8 or something. Alright, thanks for the follow. Yeah, so when I was playing this deck a few weeks ago, I was playing it with the Collected Company, and I mean, Collected Company is a good card, but personally I don't like it. I've played it for years and years, and I don't like spending 4 mana for nothing. That's not what happens every time you play the card, obviously. It's what happens very, very rarely, but I really hate that when it does happen. So I took the card out of the deck, it doesn't happen anymore, and we're trying Teferi instead. Alright, let's get the Hierarch onto the table, pass back. Come on, opponent. They're hanging on my upkeep here. What a tease. What are we going to do? I guess we can practice patience until the opponent lets us play Magic. So I think this is going to be the first Teferi Time Raveler that I've ever cast. Definitely not going to be the best one. They have nothing here. Should I just be playing Supreme Phantom instead, or is Teferi Time Raveler still good enough to put out immediately to start ticking up? I kind of feel like maybe I want to play Supreme Phantom so I can start getting damage in, and then play Time Raveler maybe on turn 3. Oh, here's an Ornithopter. Maybe I bounce the Ornithopter so that it's summoning sick again. Let's see what we draw off the top. Path to Exile. Okay. So we can play Supreme Phantom, hold up Path, and then play Teferi next turn. Or we play Teferi, bounce Ornithopter so that we can start taking it up again. They will be slowed down. They won't be able to attack with anything on that turn anyway. So it's between Supreme Phantom, Path, or Teferi. Teferi draws a card. I mean, drawing cards is great. Who doesn't want to draw cards? Alright, I've made my decision, and it is a clock. Hold up Path. And we don't even need to bluff. Attacking with the Noble Hierarch is purposeless when the opponent has Ornithopter here. Okay, so we want to keep the Path for the Nexus if possible. And if they have the Sigarda's Aid, we have Teferi for that. Castle with 19 lands is sketch. Yeah, I see that. I think they're going to be getting another land in a minute, though. Yeah, because here's the hammer. So this is still really awkward here. We can Teferi the Sigarda's Aid. But they'll just be able to replay it. We definitely do not want to Teferi the Colossal's Hammer. Let's see what we draw here. Rattlechains. Okay. Fortunately, we don't quite have enough mana to do all the things. But we can play Teferi. Teferi either pops up the Ornithopter or the Sigarda's Aid. I think probably the Sigarda's Aid, so they would have to replay it before they could equip on the Inkamoth Nexus. So we'll attack for 2 with Supreme Phantom. And we draw Force of Negation. What an excellent draw. That's super good. Thank you, Teferi. Would love another path so that we could potentially hit that Inkmoth Nexus. Opponent still has 5 cards in hand. They have a lot of options. Ashiok, what's going on? Thanks for the follow. Alright, opponent is in the tank for this turn. I don't blame them at all. They have quite an opportunity here with me being basically tapped out. They could be playing around Force of Negation, though. I think that it's a fairly common card to be playing in the Spirits list. So it's probably on their radar, along with Path to Exile. Okay, here's Sigarda's Aid again. I'm wondering if we counter this. It is our only counterspell. So if they have secondary Sigarda's Aid, they could throw a hammer on the Ornithopter. We could block with Noble Hierarch. Okay, here's Cranial Plating. So what is that? 1, 2, 3? It would kill the Teferi. Do we want to counter this? It's not as scary as the other ones like Hammer or whatever. They still have 3 cards in hand. I think maybe we let the Teferi go and race. Cranial Plating's back. Okay, Teferi down. What do we get off the top? Seachrome Coast. Blah. Okay, so we have 5 mana, so we can play the Rattlechains and the Force of Negation. So that's a good thing. Let's go ahead and attack for 2. So let's see here. Rattlechains could trade with Ornithopter, but we're winning this race. So we don't need to do that. We could just start attacking for 4 a turn, whereas they're attacking for 3. Oh, we are definitely playing Spell Queller. We got 4. Definitely 4 of. Okay, here's Giver of Ruins. We have no answer to that. No action here. Okay, they just put Luris in hand. And no attacks. Hierarch again, huh? Okay. So that makes the Rattlechains a 5/4, which attacks through Ornithopter. The Giver of Ruins is going to be a pain, though. Wondering if I play the Seachrome Coast or if I'm supposed to hold it in hand. I think I probably am supposed to hold it in hand. So bluff having more spells, more answers to whatever they have going on. But yeah, the Giver of Ruins is a bit of a pain here. Okay, now they're coming in with Ink Moth. What else they got? Is this Hammer? 2 mana is not a Hammer. Court Outfitter. Ooh, we can't Force of Negation that, and that gets the Hammer onto their Ink Moth Nexus. They are going to lose flying, but they can reactivate it to give it flying again. Really? That's, okay. That's a choice. Okay, so we could kill the Inkmoth Nexus here with a Supreme Phantom. Opponent didn't see the line. They might not know that's, yeah, exactly. I think that that's one of the more advanced techniques in that deck. So I'm wondering if I'm supposed to block Ornithopter here. Probably, right? Because the Giver of Ruins is going to be able to give Ornithopter protection from colors later on. So it'll be more and more difficult to block. I guess we chump. Chump and trade. Lairs are crazy. So come on, deck, something good. Supreme Phantom off the top. Not the worst. We still have mana for Force of Negation as well. Let's see here. Are we supposed to put the Supreme Phantom out first? I think so, right? To do more damage with the Rattlechains? Okay, so we're halfway there. Unfortunately, I guess we don't have to block this turn, right? We don't have to block at all. I was thinking we were going to have to block something, and then we would lose part of our 4 damage, so we would only do 3 damage next turn. But we have it all. We don't need to block. We have 17 life. They need to get the Colossus Hammer off of the Ornithopter, or give the Ornithopter trample. Okay, so now they're presenting lethal, and now we have to block. Oh, no, we don't. We can go to 1. They cracked their artifact, and it's no longer lethal. Oh, the fools. I have something for this. All right, they have 2 cards in hand. They could still have something to throw into play. Like they could throw a Colossus Hammer into play and kill us. But I think that we don't block here when we go for the winning line. And we have the Force of Negation for a hammer. Let's pass. We'll absolutely take 16. All right, all right. We win with the opponent's punt there. I don't think we want to change anything. Path to Exile, Force of Negation is really where we want to be at. What about Damping Sphere? I don't think we want Damping Sphere. No, we're good. We're good as is. Oh, this hand is fantastic. I love this hand. Hierarch into Queller and Skyclave Apparition. We have the white, so we can play... And yeah, Hierarch makes white as well. We can play Botanical Sanctum, Hierarch, and then we can play Canopy, so we can have Skyclave Apparition if we need it. Or we can just play Cavern of Souls. This hand is awesome. A little bit heavy on lands. If we had like a Path to Exile, that'd be cool. Looks like opponent might have the turn 2. If they have land double hammer in hand, we are toast. We get another Skyclave, very nice. If we manage to survive to our second turn, then we might actually be able to pull this one out. Alright, so Botanical Sanctum first. Okay, so here's Paradise Mantle. They're able to make some mana. You could, for example, make some mana to make a hammer. So if we get to our next turn, are we supposed to Skyclave the Sigarda's Aid or the Ornithopter? Probably the Sigarda's Aid. I think the Ornithopter's nothing without equipment weighing it down. Of course, this is all moot with the Colossus Hammer. We're just going to have to apparate the hammer. I guess we could apparate the Ornithopter. Eat the Aid. That might have been the way to go. We do have to change our plans completely because of the hammer showing up. Now our choices are eat the Ornithopter or eat the hammer. I think I would rather eat the Ornithopter. I think the hammer is not too good. Once it's on the battlefield, they're going to have a harder time equipping it to things. So I'm just going to get rid of their creature and move on from there. Hey, handsome. Thanks for joining us. You got here for match 2. So yeah, we Cavern of Souls, Skyclave, take the Ornithopter. Okay, let's see if we can get through to our next turn so we can hold up Spell Queller and start attacking in 3s. Giver of Ruins from the opponent, that's a good card. And another Ornithopter. Okay. What do we get? Rattlechains. Nice draw. Okay, so we can hold up Spell Queller, and if they don't cast anything worthy of Spell Queller, we can play Rattlechains. And then our Skyclave Apparition will have Flash. So I think we probably play Misty here. And attack for 3. So, speaking of the Marvel comic universe, I was watching, what was it? Iron Man the other day. Iron Man 1. And something occurred to me that might have occurred to all of you long before now, but the main enemy of Iron Man, the capitalist that steals Tony Stark's heart, dude is Hydra. Stoneforge Mystic. I think we counter this one. They're basically tapped out at this point, and it keeps a hammer out of their hand. Hydra! Okay, so let's Quell. Okay, so there's this bit right near the end where he's talking about his associates. He's really high up end capitalist. He's involved in the making of war and chaos in order to find peace. So they never actually come out and say Hydra at any point in that movie, but we also have the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fighting against this this stain. I think it all kind of fits. It could be both. Okay, I missed fetching the Misty Rainforest there because I'm used to playing the Shadow decks. So I was thinking like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't have to crack my Misty now. And realistically, it actually doesn't matter, but we are going to take a little bit more damage this way. We'll probably have to go get Basic Island, which is going to limit us a little bit on white mana. Let's see here. Do I attack with Skyclave as well? It's one more damage. I think so. We have two plays here on Rattlechains, Skyclave Apparition. So it should be a safe to attack with both. Skyclave Apparition is going to have to hit a hammer, specifically. Because Giver of Ruins. Okay, so we're going to have to hit this hammer. Unfortunately, this is going to resolve. I wonder if we can get them to tap the Giver of Ruins to give the Ornithopter like pro-green or something. That would be amazing. Is there any way we could kill the Ornithopter? We could play the Rattlechains, play the Skyclave, then block the Ornithopter? That seems fine. He can re-equip post-combat. We're Skyclaving the hammer and killing the Ornithopter. I guess, yeah, they'll be able to give it pro-blue. So, we might not be able to kill the Ornithopter here, but that would tap out the Giver of Ruins. I'll do what I can, handsome. Do what I can. Now, is this too much value for opponent? Do you scoop in response? Or are you going to play it out? Because I think opponent can still get there if they like draw hammer off the top. Giver of Ruins actually quite strong. Yeah, it gets flying back. Oh, they do concede. I was hoping they would. We have a 3-land hand. We have Aether Vial, Wanderer, Mimic, Skyclave. Opponent is playing Obosh. So our hand is a little bit slow for Obosh, but I like the Wanderer to counter their spells. I like the Skyclave Apparition for later. Ooh, Bant Ephemerate. That's got to be pretty gas. Like, how much value is in that deck? Wow. I think this is keepable. I don't know what we're going to be super happy with keeping against Obosh. I think we're going to have a hard time of it. Does Obosh normally play Bomat Courier? I should hit 6 because I don't have any plays, but let's take a look here. Okay, it's specifically a source with an odd mana source, so it doesn't specifically say red or anything. Okay, cool. Thanks. I think that our play is fairly obvious here. Snow-covered island into Aether Vial. We could play the Mausoleum Wanderer here, but I want to get the Aether Vial online. Bone Crushers. Bone Crushers Stomp. Okay. Very aggressive start, as to be expected. And their damage output for next turn is going to be insane. They're going to have 2 to potentially 3 lands. And Prowess triggers. So sure, yeah, we're only at 16 right now, but we're going to be dropping a lot. Unfortunately, we don't have any 2-drops. So I think we probably just play Misty Rainforest pass, and we can Aether Vial in the Mausoleum Wanderer. That way we can get the Skyclave Apparition down turn 3. We can just start Skyclaving turn after turn. The question is, are we even going to be able to live that long? Like I said, I expect to be taking a ton of damage this turn. That's true. They have 4 Blood Moons main, and we do have Aether Vial and Hierarch. Oh my gosh. Really? Nothing. Just 3 damage, opponent. Okay, we're going to go get Hallowed Fountain. I would say that's probably our most searched for land. Maybe I should put a second Hallowed Fountain in the deck over the second Moorland Haunt. Something to consider. That's actually what was just going through my mind. Ooh, but Spell Queller, though. I mean, their hand can't be good. It can't be. We also have Mausoleum Wanderer, ready to counter some of their spells. I think we probably leave the Wanderer ready to block. Our life total is pretty low. We need to get control of the situation. I think you might be right. I think I might want to apparate the Bomat Courier right now. We're going to go for the greedy play. Oh, handsome. I just saw the the message there about smoothie time. Yeah, smoothie was great yesterday. Strawberry, banana, a little bit of cabbage. Okay, so it looks like they did actually activate the Bomat Courier. Discard 4 cards, draw 3. That means our Skyclave Apparition will not be giving them a token if it dies. I think we still keep the Mausoleum Wanderer at home. I don't mind blocking with the Mausoleum Wanderer and Skyclave Apparitions. We get to preserve our life total, and then we get to Skyclave Mimic or Spell Queller, whatever's coming up. They are the beatdown, we are the control. Could be Blood Moon coming down. Blood Moon would be pretty decent from the opponent right here. It would make things awkward. No, they're putting Obosh into their hand. They're putting Obosh into their hand? Pre-combat? Why wouldn't you attack first, man? They must really have nothing. Opponent, what is going on with you? Okay. Moving on. Okay, so we can set this... Right, we'll set the yields next turn. Selfless Spirit, okay. Play Moorland Haunt. So, we have access to Skyclave, Glasspool Mimic, and Spell Queller. So I think... Let's see here, what do we do? I think maybe I play Skyclave Apparition, attack for 4, and then hold up Spell Queller, Glasspool with the Aether Vial. Okay, so here's a Firebolt, getting rid of a Skyclave Apparition with a Swift Spear under it. I think that's fine. I don't think we need to Spell Quell that Firebolt. We'll just get a 1/1 token, whatever. They are dangerously close to casting Obosh. Okay. So let's see here. Always no, always yield. Thankfully, tokens are even CMC. Oh, that's cool. So there's not going to deal double damage to us with that. Okay. We even have a card ready to eat up with a Moorland Haunt, but I think I would rather put this Selfless Spirit onto the board and attack for a bunch of damage. Okay. Opponent a little bit salty about the all the Skyclaves. I mean, one of them was a Mimic, right? Okay. So let's see here. Playing against Obosh. Ah, there you go. Thank you. Firewalkers. We probably want Path to Exile as well. Threeth. Three-ish. Not too sure what I want to take out, though. Glasspool Mimic seems pretty strong. Kor Firewalker. Maybe I take out Teferi. Some Mausoleum Wanderer. Noble Hierarch is probably quite poor. Opponent is going to be playing Lava Dart. Yeah. Cut the Teferis, and then we got 4 more cards, and I think I'm going to trim cards with 1 toughness. So I'll take out a Rattlechains, a Selfless Spirit, a Hierarch, and a Wanderer. This hand is awkward. I think I want to mulligan this. Yeah, this hand is so awkward. Oh, yeah. This is what I'm about. This hand is great. We'll keep this. I think we get rid of one of the Supreme Phantoms here. We have Kor Firewalker into Kor Firewalker. Getting Blood Moon? Okay, well, we have the Aether Vial. So they can't have a Braid. What do they have instead to destroy artifacts? Some 1-mana spell? Whatever. We'll get rid of one of the Phantoms. If we can get double Kor Firewalker out, we're going to be pretty good. Shattering Spree. Yes. That would be the one. That makes so much sense because it also kills Chalice. Another Glasspool. Cool. Alright, let's play Aether Vial pass. It might have been better to play the Horizon Canopy there, actually. I was thinking Botanical Sanctum because it costs no life, but if we draw a white mana source off the top, we're going to be quite sad. Shouldn't be bringing in Shattering Spree just for your vials? Okay. Good. Now, we are going to have to be careful of Stomp. Stomp is their way to kill Kor Firewalker. No, they can't target the Firewalker with Stomp, but if we block one of their creatures, damage cannot be prevented. So, no punish. By the way, we got the Moorland Haunt off the top. So we're going to be playing Moorland Haunt, Supreme Phantom, and then next turn we have Kor Firewalker and Glasspool Mimic. And we don't mind throwing the Supreme Phantom under the bus here. So if they want to attack for big damage, we're fine with blocking and chumping. Once we get these Kor Firewalkers online, we're going to be feeling pretty strong. Okay, so they're going for the Lightning Bolt on the Supreme Phantom, so we don't have the opportunity to chump here. We're just going to be taking a bunch of damage, however much it is. I mean, 4 damage here would be fine. If you only want to do 4, that's great. Okay. Has Obosh Prowess started playing Kozilek's Return? I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. Yeah, okay. So that's their answer. And they probably would bring that in. I think that it's pretty well known that Spirits plays Kor Firewalker. But we can't really play around that. We're going to go ahead and do this in our main phase so we can play Glasspool Mimic. And get a second one immediately. Okay, so they're straight up attacking. They could definitely have Stomp. Why not Auriok Champion? Good question. The Kor Firewalker is what was in the list, so it's what I decided to play. I don't think we can block here. They have Stomp. I'm not blocking. No way. They have it, for sure. Unfortunate thing is, okay, they don't play any spells. Whew. I was going to say, for every spell they play, we gain 2 life, they deal 3 damage. We need to get this other Glasspool Mimic out so we can start getting even with their Prowess triggers. That attack was really good from the opponent. Great attack from the opponent. Really signaled strength there. I've played quite a few Prowess opponents who did not understand how Stomp works. That attack in itself shows me the opponent knows what Stomp is capable of. Absolutely. This could be a Jedi mind trick. And, you know, if it was, all the power to the opponent. They got in 3 free damage when we could have been killing 2 of their creatures. But I do not believe that. Okay, let's put on our last token and see if we can get a Spell Queller off the top. Noble Hierarch. Okay. So we could play Hierarch, and then we would still have mana for Rattlechains, and we could Aether Vial in the Glasspool Mimic. We would have to go to 9 to do that, though. I don't like going to 9. I think we just hold up Rattlechains, Glasspool Mimic. The next question is, what about combat? Do we attack? I mean, attacking with 1 is probably fine. But do we attack with both? That's much more risky, but it's double the damage. You think we should go to 9? Okay. We got a clock. Okay, here's a lightning bolt at our face. Even if we put the Glasspool Mimic into play now, we're not going to get an extra life. But we don't have to worry about all those Prowess triggers, at least. Gotta love those Kor Firewalker triggers. I suppose I could say always yes and always yield. would be interesting if they actually play Obosh here. Okay, so we can actually block now. And kill 2 of their creatures if they attack. I don't think they'll actually attack at all. I think they'll pass without attacking. Yeah. Alright. Alright. Always no. Always yield. And we get Botanical Sanctum. Kind of a lame draw here. We could draw a card, play Botanical Sanctum, we would have 2 mana, but then we wouldn't be able to activate Moorland Haunt this turn. But I'm not too interested in playing Moorland Haunt, activating Moorland Haunt rather, if we're going to be taking damage. Let's draw a card, see what we get. Blah. Alright, let's see here. What do we keep back? Maybe we keep back the Firewalkers. They're going to have Stomp, though. Maybe we just... what do we do if we attack all? We get them for 8? That's not nearly enough. We really needed a 3-drop there off the top. Like a Spell Queller or something. Opponent has 4 cards in hand, 5 mana, Obosh, and 3 Prowess creatures. We're going to be in a lot of trouble regardless. It's not letting me say always yes to this right now. Oh well. I'll just do it manually. Okay, geez. I mean, we have to do some blocks, right? Because they have Stomp. So we're going to be taking a huge amount of damage. So let's see here. They play Stomp. I don't want to lose all my Firewalkers. So we'll just let them get rid of one of them. Now I did not quite do the math, because I don't know what all they have in hand. So we might die. We'll see what happens. Oh, double Stomp. Did they do the math? Did they just have us here? Because why wouldn't you want to keep 1 Stomp in hand, right? This is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, yeah, this is lethal. Oh yeah, we're dead. That's why you play the other Stomp, because we die. GG, opponent. Wow. So we had 3 Kor Firewalkers on the board, and we lost versus Prowess. The power of Stomp. Do you have 3-ith of them? 3-ish? This hand is good. We'll keep. We're going to have a little bit of trouble getting Kor Firewalker out turn 2, but we can get it out turn 3, no problem. Question is, do we want to go ahead and get basic plains with the Windswept Heath? Yeah, I guess, right? You would normally have a RD as opposed to a TH for 3. But who knows, maybe English is their 3th language. Rather fetch to get the second white source. So we probably just play Island Aether Vial. Could play the Cavern of Souls. I don't think there's much difference between the Cavern and the Island here. Island isn't casting anything that Cavern isn't. Ooh, that's scary. Turn 1, no play. They keep, like, triple stomp hand. All bolts? Oh, very likely. All the more reason to get that Kor Firewalker out quick. Okay, we got Moorland Haunt. Alright, we're just going to play Island. We could play the Supreme Phantom, or we could play the Selfless Spirit. I think I'll play the Selfless Spirit first. Actually, now that I think about it, I would rather keep the Selfless Spirit as a surprise, so I could try and save Kor Firewalker later. So I'm going to play the Supreme Phantom as a bait. Okay, there's the Lightning Bolt. Interesting that they didn't play it on my turn and decided to play it on their turn. Maybe they just drew it. Could have been scared of Wanderer. Oh, yep. That makes total sense. Another Windswept Heath. Bleh. Alright, so our Moorland Haunt is not ready to go. We don't have the white mana for it yet. We could just put the Selfless Spirit into play along with the Kor Firewalker, but like I was saying, I want to try and keep the Selfless Spirit back as a way to protect it, and if they don't have a creature in play, Kor Firewalker is not in danger. I mean, except for Kozilek's Return, of course. So maybe I just play Windswept Heath pass. Okay, here's a Bomat Courier. We can ambush that with our Kor Firewalker. Excellent value there from the Firewalker. Let's go get a tapped Shockland. Go get the classic Hallowed Fountain. Opponent has Brute Force. Woof. I'm thinking about leaving the Aether Vial on 2 here, so that I can cheat in the Selfless Spirit and hold up mana for the Moorland Haunt. Okay, we just get Noble Hierarch off the top. Our mana's so awkward for Hierarch here. I would love to play the Hierarch and get the extra damage from it, but I'd have to fetch Shock in order to do it. I think at this point I'd rather play the Moorland Haunt, get the Spirit from it, and hold up Selfless Spirit just in case they have shenanigans. But if I'm attacking with Kor Firewalker anyway, I'm not going to be blocking with it, so they can't stomp it. So we'll probably put Selfless Spirit into play EOT and start attacking for 5 or whatever. Shenanigans in general. It's funny that that word catches me, but it's legitimately in my vocabulary, so every once in a while it comes up. We need a dismember witch member level joke for shenanigans. That could be correct, yep. Ooh, they're going for Seasoned Pyromancer. We have no action. Always yes. I think it's closer to 5 minutes. Oh, sorry, no, yeah. I thought you were saying minus. No. We have 7.5 minutes for this game, but we're 1-1, so that's fine. And we're just going to throw that Selfless Spirit out onto the board so we can tick up our Aether Vial to 3. Oh. I just realized they discarded Firebolt and Lava Dart. Great discard for that Pyromancer. Damn. Oh, another Selfless Spirit. That's cool. That would be some next level play from the opponent. Okay, we're going to attack all. Kor Firewalker is unblockable. Let's get aggressive. We have double Selfless Spirit, so we're insulated in some small way versus Kozilek's Return. They do have a Lava Dart in the graveyard, so they will be able to take out 1. But if they take out one of our Selfless Spirits, we can make another Spirit. Okay, so let's set up our auto yields there to save on clock time. We have 6.5 minutes left. Where's the Firebolt going? Firebolt is going at Selfless Spirit, and then they're going to be able to Lava Dart. The other one in response. Tap the Vial during combat. Give him a flex. Ugh. Okay, here's the Lava Dart at the other one. More like dab that Vial. I respect that. I think we're still supposed to sacrifice the Spirit here, right? That's right. Opponent has to respond before the trigger resolves. So just like that, our board has vanished. But we have Moorland Haunt to build our board back up. Should have actually activated the Moorland Haunt first, so that I could have made an Indestructible Spirit there. But I still have a Selfless Spirit trigger ready to go on the stack, so we didn't lose too much value from that. As much as it hurts, I'm leaning towards getting a Temple Guard in here, so that I can play the Noble Hierarch. We're at a pretty high life total here, so I'm going to take the risk of the 2 extra damage. Come on, opponent. Okay, so now we have Indestructible Spirit for blocks. They have 3 mana, so they're quite a ways away from flashing back the Firebolts. At 13 life, and with us having a 4 damage clock, it could come into play. They could absolutely still turn around and smash us with those Firebolts. Okay, they are going to attack all. So we'll just put our Spirit in front of the Swift Spear here to block maximum damage, preserve life total. We'll take 3, go to 17. Oh, I forgot the Aether Vial dab. Let's do it in response to the light up the stage, so they think maybe we have, like, Spell Queller. No, I think we still have to hold it up in case they have, like, Flame Slash or something. Our guys have Indestructible, though. Okay, we'll set up our skips. Always know, always yield. Horizon Canopy. All right, let's go ahead and draw a card with that right away. Another Hierarch. So we can... If we play Hierarch, we can't even make a Moorland Haunt. That's bogus. Alright, let's attack for 4, and then we can put a Spirit into play. Okay, I was supposed to use the Cavern of Souls for the Horizon Canopy there. Oh, they have a Stomp? Okay. So they'll take 3. And we'll be able to make a spirit. Okay, they're killing another spirit. Flame Slash kills one of our tokens from our land, whatever. It does slow down our clock quite significantly. What are they attacking for here right now? 4, 5, 6. Oh, they're holding back the Swift Spear? But why? Okay, we're at just over 4 minutes left on the clock. Don't have a lot of time left. Ooh, Glasspool Mimic. We can mimic the Firewalker. That's pretty good. Okay, we'll play Hierarch. We'll attack for 3. And then we'll make a Mimic. If we can block with a Hierarch, we can also make a Spirit with a Moorland Haunt. Okay, so here's a Stomp on the Hierarch. So we will be able to make a Spirit. So how much damage is this? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We go to 7, and then we deal them 4, 5, 6, which is lethal. They have 1 card in hand, though. If they have Stomp... Like, they already have 2 of their giants here. They have 1 card in hand. Do we play around Stomp? I mean, we can, right? So why wouldn't we? What if they have Lightning Bolt? I think we're still live through Lightning Bolt. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's pretty tight. I think we block nothing, and we hope we just win on the crackback. That's their last card. I think we win. All right, opponent, you have any parting words for us? I mean, they're drawing a card here, but they're tapped out. Do they have any cards they can cast for 0 mana? We win. Oh, Jesus, the cores. Okay, we have no lands, so obviously we mulligan. Not great keep, I think. Like, I don't think we go to 5 here. So we'll just play Windswept Heath. I don't think I want to play Glasspool Mimic. But this would be the time to play it if we wanted to. It would guarantee we would get to 3 mana, but it would mean we don't have the Mimic to copy the Apparition. Alright, I'm going to... I want to risk it. I want to be greedy. I've already spent quite a bit of time on our first turn here, trying to figure out which land we want to play. Do we want to play the Glasspool, or do we want to play a fetch land? Okay, we've decided. We're playing the fetch land, we're going to hold the Glasspool and try and play it as a creature. Opponent plays Forest and Secure Tribe Scout, putting them on some sort of Amulet deck. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get our most fetched land, Hallowed Fountain. And go to our turn. What do we get off the top? Selfless Spirit. So we need a land off the top. Maybe we should have played that Mimic, huh? Alright, so we're going to play Flooded Strand, and then we're going to flash in Rattlechains, EOT. Opponent is going to have the turn and be able to do whatever. Amulet is a very scary deck. Definitely one of the premier decks in the format, and if you have a high level of skill, Amulet is one of the decks that is going to reward you the most. Okay, it looks like opponent has a really busted hand. Secure Tribe Scout, Amulet of Vigor. They have 4 cards left in hand. It looks like maybe they don't have a Karoo land, though. Or maybe they're just waiting for the next turn. So we really, really want land off the top. Okay, so we want to get a white land. We're going to get Temple Garden here. All right. Land off the top, please, so we can Skyclave that Amulet. Yeah. If they get that Amulet for their next turn, we are in so much trouble. Oh, we got the land. Yes. Okay. So we attack, play Skyclave, pass. Always had it. We have no plays at this point. We'll just hit 6 while the opponent does their thing. They don't actually play Lightning Bolt, do they? Okay, good. Yep, nothing we can do about that. We probably attack with Skyclave Apparition as well. If they want to trade 2 Tribe Scouts for Apparition, we're fine with that. Give them a 1/1 Spirit, or Illusion rather, no problem. Question is, what else do we want to play here? Ooh. Just Engineered Explosives, okay. So the Drogskol Captain is our play here, and we're just going to attack for big damage and hope that we can race them. They are going to have just a ton of mana available here, but we can't actually interact with their mana at all. And Glasspool Mimic does not have flash. It is not a spirit. So we're going to see if we can race. Again, I don't think we have any meaningful interaction with what the opponent is doing here. So if they have Titan this turn, they have Titan. Oh yeah. They've got to have it. They got 6 mana, 3 cards in hand. They kept this hand. They got to have Titan. Okay, here it is. But their lands come into play tapped. So we're still going to be able to fly in. And with Glasspool Mimic on Drogskol Captain, we might be able to smash. Let's see what lands they get. Ah, but they'll have the blocker for the Skyclave that doesn't fly. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. So we don't even have lethal here. Ah, Hanweir plus bounce land. Play the Hanweir. Give Primeval Titan haste. Yep. I get ya. Yep, there it is. This allows them to attack this turn with a prime time, get more lands, which is going to mean that we are dead on the crackback. I don't think we die here, but I'm pretty sure we die on the opponent's next turn. We're not going to be able to do lethal damage because Apparition doesn't fly. They got Radiant Fountain in order to preserve their life total. I think that Talaria West would have been probably a little bit better, but they could be afraid of us doing incredible amounts of damage in the air, which we do. Okay, we're still in no danger from Valakut, so let's see here. What do we get off the top? Oh, Teferi. Interesting. Teferi on prime time, unfortunately, doesn't do anything. They'll just be able to replay it, give it haste, and go again. We can only play one spell. We could play Selfless Spirit to preserve our life total. Attack with Drogskol Captain, Rattlechains. Attack for 5, play Selfless Spirit, and then Skyclave blocks Prime Time, Selfless Spirit blocks Zombie, Sackless, Selfless Spirit, and we take 5? And then next turn, Glasspool the Drogskol. Really wish we had one more mana so we could put the Rattlechains out and get a little bit of extra blocking and combat damage going, but it is what it is. Alright, we're not going to take any more time on our turn here. This game is nearly hopeless. So we don't want to waste our clock on it. We'll hit them for 5. That 2 life might actually end up being very relevant. Because that's 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we're still pretty far off lethal anyway. Selfless Spirit has flash because of Rattlechains, so we're just going to pass the turn. Bojuka Bog? Sure. Ah, yes. That would be a very good play. There's nothing we can do against that play either. So let's see what the opponent does. Are they the smart opponent? Yes, indeed. Opponent is smart. Oh, they made the Vezuva a Radiant Fountain. I mean, yeah, sure, right? That still gains them life, so they're that much further away from getting toasted. Oh, and they have 3 zombies on the attack. We might just be dead anyway. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're dead anyway. The extra zombie kills us. Didn't do the math right there. When I had originally done the math, they had 2 zombies. And I didn't pay enough attention. They had put Bojuka Bog into play at EOT. And that gave them lethal through our Selfless Spirit. Okay, so Damping Sphere. Path to Exile. Force of Negation is a maybe. Unified Will I'm not actually that hot on in this matchup. We're going to have to take out quite a few cards. Let's take out Selfless Spirit. 3 more cards to take out. You think Unified Will in? Especially on the play, I guess. I'm just thinking, like, there's going to be situations where they have creatures in play and it might be dead, but I think that's going to be pretty rare in this matchup. We will generally have more creatures than opponent. Teferi does nothing. Thank you. Well, that's part of it, right? Like, I really want to get a chance to use the interaction with Spell Queller and Teferi at some point. But I'll have another league after this one where I'm playing the same deck. 2 more cards to take out. Do we take out Mausoleum Wanderer, maybe? One more card to take out. Maybe one of the Aether Vials. Okay, that's a good point. Might have to go back to Coco. Shudder. One land. If we get like a secondary land right off the top, we're great, but that's so risky. Ah, nice. Glad we mulliganed. Keep. We'll get rid of one of our lands here. Probably the basic island. And we'll start with Aether Vial. Okay, we get a Mimic off the top. Neat. We're going to be playing, I think, Noble Hierarch with the Vial, but either way we're going to be playing Damping Sphere with our mana. Let's go ahead and fetch our Hallowed Fountain. Maybe we should have waited on the Damping Sphere. We could have played Mausoleum Wanderer this turn. They weren't going to go off at all, and that would have given us a better clock. Oh, they can't play their second spell. So the other colors don't have any good spirits, huh? Not too surprising. Oh, don't forget to put your Noble Hierarch in play. Maybe, do we want to put the Mausoleum Wanderer into play so we can start attacking for 2? So yeah, black would get you, like, Thoughtseize. Ooh, Supreme Phantom. That's a pretty big hit. Let's do some damage. Oh, Plague Engineer is sweet. All right, take 4. Okay, what is this? A Dismember? Yeah, Dismember. Dismember on Maelstrom Wanderer. Yep. Nothing much to do with that. That resolves. So they still take 4, but from the Dismember instead of the Wanderer. That means we don't have the ability to counter their spell, which their answer to Damping Sphere. But we do have Glasspool Mimic to copy Supreme Phantom, so we do still have some clock going on. Okay, here's Dryad. Going to be hoping for... Oh, they made a copy of Botanical Sanctum. Cute. Going to be hoping for Skyclave Apparition off the top. Oh, Snow-Covered Island. What are you doing? Didn't I put you on the bottom of the deck? Dispel, Dismember. Nice. Alright, so unfortunately we don't have any real options here. We're just going to have to vial in the Glasspool Mimic to get the extra damage in. But if opponent has it, they have it. Ooh, good question. Split cards you can play early and late. What do we got, chat? Okay, opponent with 1 card left in hand, but they have Tireless Tracker, they have Clues. Single black mana, nice. No clue for you. Okay, let's see here. Always no, always yield. Let's get that out. Oh, come on, deck. Don't need that. Let's race. We'll leave the Aether Vial in hand, bluffing a spell, I think, here. I don't think we're going to get much value from an Aether Vial in play. Opponent getting all the clues here, but they are limited on their mana and how many spells they can play per turn. But their clock is scary, and they're tapping a scary amount of mana here. They could just have Titan ready to go. Oh, well, they're out of mana, so they're just like cracking clues here, right? Because they have no cards in hand? No, this is going on the stack. Oh, they returned the Symbiosis to hand and then put it on the stack. Sweet. Well, that's really cool. That's a really cool synergy. Oh, Reclamation Sage, so they get to hit the Damping Sphere. So they're good to go next turn. It's only for 3. I think we take that and we hold the Noble Hierarch as a better chump blocker for the turn after, we're just going to need to hope that we get a Lord. Yeah, exactly. That would be the perfect draw. Oh, come on, deck. What are you doing to me? Land off the top. Come on. All right, so depending on what happens here, we have one block with Noble Hierarch, and we need a Lord off the top. So let's see here, that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So they have lethal on board now. We have to chump block. We can block the Tireless Tracker with a Noble Hierarch. And then we're looking for a Lord off the top. What is the Is It split card that was used for a while in Standard? You can feed a bunch of mana into it. It like draws cards and does damage, and I think the small mana side is like copy a spell. Expansion Explosion. Thank you. Okay, so here's their attacks. So let's see here. That's 8 and 5. 8 and 5 is 13. That's not lethal. I still think we want to block with Noble Hierarch, though. The question is, do we go down to 6? I think we thin the deck. So let's see here. We have plenty of blue. We don't have much white. Let's get the Temple Garden. And what do we draw off the top? Lord. Skyclave. A little bit late Skyclave, but that gets rid of the Tireless Tracker. Or we could get rid of the Dryad. So this isn't a win. But we can get rid of one of their threats and block the other one so we don't die. It's a trick. Yes, it is. So we have to decide how we're going to navigate this trick and this turn. Opponent still has a ton of cards in hand. They might just win anyway. But I think we attack with one Phantom. We can leave the other Phantom back as a blocker for Dryad. We Skyclave the Tireless Tracker. And then we chump the Reclamation Sage. Poke with one, I think. I think you're right. We'll leave the copy back. Too bad we didn't still have that Noble Hierarch. Get that one extra damage. Okay. So it all comes down to this. What do you got, opponent? Would have been a lot easier if we got the captain off the top. Sorry, I can't quite figure out what the initialism is for the last one. I know the Noble Hierarch, but what's the other one? Phantasmal Image. Interesting. I'll have to take a look at what... Valakut, huh? So I have to Skyclave the Dryad here. No choice. Fortunately, they don't have haste on the prime time. This puts them to 5, which is too much for my 2 Supreme Phantoms again. Ah, oh, damn it. Oh, they did have the battlements. Where did that come from? I didn't see that originally. Okay, with the battlements, we're dead. Alright, this hand seems amazing. Let's keep. This is basically what I was looking to do when I was thinking about the deck. So let's see how that works out in practice. Okay, opponent with Verdant Catacombs, no Luris, into basic forest, play Utopia Sprawl. Okay. This is looking familiar. I think we want a Botanical Sanctum Hierarch here. I think our hand would have been way better on the play. On the play, we would have been able to Spell Quell whatever they're doing with their mana this turn. But instead, they're just going to be able to go ahead and, like, whatever, play Blood Moon, for example. So we only have one source of colored mana. So we're in a lot of trouble here. We can't actually play any of our spells. We need a basic. Okay, turn 2 Blood Moon from opponent. Like I was saying, our hand would have been amazing on the play, but on the draw, it's just too slow. Let's play Breeding Pool so we don't have to pay the life, and attack and pass. And Teferi here... Okay, the Lightning Bolt really kind of seals it. I was going to say, if Teferi was a collected company, we would have been doing pretty well next turn. Basics in the deck, yes. We have 1 island and 1 plains. So I think we're in garbage time here. We already know basically what the opponent is playing, so we don't need to reveal any more information. We've shown them Botanical Sanctum, Breeding Pool, and Noble Hierarch. So they don't know necessarily what we're on. They might be able to figure out from these clues that we're on spirits, but no need to tell them for sure by playing like a Cavern of Souls or something. We're not going to be able to win this game, and we already know what they're playing. So we're going to bring in some counter spells. The rest of our spells aren't too hot. We could play the Kor Firewalker. It's immune to their removal spells, an excellent blocker. Let's see here. What are we going to take out? We want the Selfless Spirit for sure. Skyclave is really good. Oh, thanks, Handsome. I opened up the link here, and I'm going to hold on to that for later. I'll give it a good look over once the league is over. Huh. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anyone play that card before. Geist of Saint Traft. It is a spirit. Oops. That didn't just take me right back. Okay, here we go. Submit. 30 seconds left. Plenty of time. Alright, we'll take the play. We have a Hierarch hand, but our only land is Moorland Haunt. We must mulligan. Okay, we have a decent amount of lands this time. We can keep. Our hand is a little bit awkward. Let's see here. So I think we probably get rid of Glasspool Mimic here. We have Cavern of Souls, Mausoleum Wanderer into Rattlechains, and then our next land gets a Spell Queller. I do love Giver of Ruins. A lot of respect for that card. And that might be a good card to replace Hierarch with as well. Of course, at that point, we would also be taking out Teferi. Thanks, buddy. Alright, we have nothing more to do this turn. But next turn, we're going to, during the opponent's turn rather, we're going to use the 2 as our shortcut key because Mausoleum Wanderer can counter things. Don't believe it's going to have that opportunity this turn, but it's good regardless. Okay, so we got our third land. We can flash in Rattlechains at some point to protect our Mausoleum Wanderer. Windswept Heath can also go get a basic island. So, no, it can't. It's a Windswept Heath. It can't get island. It can get basic plains. That's good enough. We are going to be playing around Blood Moon. We're just going to attack for the 1 here. We want Rattlechains to be a surprise later. To hopefully protect the Wanderer for something. Alright, so opponent plays Forest and Pass. Let's go get Plains. Opponent fetches in response to our fetch. Do you have a Stifle? What are you doing, opponent? They're going to kill the Mausoleum Wanderer here? Stomp! Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So if we counter Stomp, then Stomp goes to the graveyard, right? Okay. Much better than letting it resolve anyway. Let's go get Plains. And play Rattlechains. Okay, I'm going to hold up Spell Queller this turn. And if they play nothing worth countering, then we have Drogskol Captain or Selfless Spirit to play, depending on their plays. Like if they try and kill Rattlechains with their creature, we play Drogskol Captain. If they try and play Blood Moon, we play Spell Queller. They're down to 13 here. Magus of the Moon. Okay, we quell that. And then we play Drogskol Captain. Nope. No need. Opponent concedes to that. All right. Do we want to change our board at all? I don't think so. I think we're fine with how we've boarded here. We're going to resubmit immediately. Interesting hand here. We have a 1-land hand. A double Aether Vial, though. So that's going to allow us to play through Blood Moon quite easily. We're also on the draw, so we have more chance of getting to that land. This is a very, very risky keep. And I'll probably get punished for it. Thanks, handsome. This is a greedy stream. We embrace the greed here. No need to be reckless, but we will embrace the greed. Okay, basic planes, Aether Vial. How's your Blood Moon look now? Bone Crusher Giant. Looks like they're just straight up playing a 4-3. So they're going to race. Landkill Pillage, you mean? Absolutely. I'm pretty sure the deck plays Pillage. Does it play it in the main? I think that's a sideboard card, right? Land off the top. We can play Kor Firewalker here. That is nice. Yeah, they're definitely Ponza. So you're saying it's main? Thanks for the info. They'll almost undoubtedly still have it then. Here, okay, here's Chandra. We have no counter to that. But that means we don't have to worry about Stomp. I think that if I was the opponent, I might have attacked with Bone Crusher first, so that we would have to respect Stomp, and then played Chandra post-combat. Okay, so land off the top means we can apparate the Chandra. Let's go for land. Nice. Go get basic island. I think we probably attack with the Firewalker. I mean, we already had the Noble Hierarch, so our Skyclave was going to happen anyway. Right, so attack with Firewalker, play Skyclave. It's got 2 in hand. Absolutely. And then we can play Aether Vial as well. Okay, so yeah, let's play Aether Vial. We have Supreme Phantom on the go from our other Aether Vial. So we can save this Apparition from a Stomp. Oh, they got big mana. Glorybringer. Okay. Unfortunately, Drogskol Captain is not quite ready to go. So they are going to be able to kill the Skyclave Apparition here if they exert their creature. Which means they hit us for 8. So this is quite the race we have going. Oh man, it's too bad we can't put that Captain in play. We had Captain in play here. We would get him. So if we play Supreme Phantom, we can't really block anything they're putting forward here. We're going to take the damage. Glorybringer is going to be tapped for the next turn. Top a Skyclave. That seems pretty good. Let's top Skyclave. Might want to keep Kor Firewalker back. We'll spend a little bit of time on our turn figuring out how we want to attack, what we want to keep back as a blocker. But both of these Aether Vials want to tick up, so we can go ahead and do that now and see what we draw. Glasspool Mimic. Okay, so Glasspool Mimic means that we can have double Drogskol Captain. Unfortunately, we can't Glasspool the Apparition. So what does this mean for us? We can leave the Kor Firewalker back as a blocker. Our creatures gain hexproof, and we can attack for 4. Or we could attack for 3, 4, 5. No, the illusion blocks the Kor Firewalker, so we can no longer attack with Firewalker. But it does seem pretty good, doesn't it? Alright, so let's see here. I guess we just play Drogskol and then Aether Vial in, Mimic, attack with Phantom. They're tapped out. There's no reason to do this in any kind of sneaky way. We just want to get the maximum damage in. Play the Mimic, copy the Captain. Okay, let's attack for 4. We got blockers, and we got lethal on the next attack. This is the best we can do. Your turn, opponent. Oh, opponent just scooped. Nice.